Hello everybody, it's Ryan here, and I want to say good morning. Wanted to talk about a topic that is about training, and that training topic is choosing the best program for you. What is the best strength training, bodybuilding, powerlifting, sports performance program for you? And that program is one that you fully understand and one that you enjoy. I think that's really the most important thing, because if you enjoy it and you understand it, you're gonna keep doing it. If you don't understand it or you keep questioning things inside the program, or let's say you have a coach and you keep questioning your coach, chances are you're probably not going to do too great if you have. Not to say that it's good to have questions and it's okay to be curious, but if you're questioning the validity of the coach or the validity of the program, you're not going to have confidence in what it is that you're doing. So it's important that you have that confidence. Now, if you have a lot of training background, a lot of training experience, maybe you have a lot of education in the sports area, sports fitness, strength training area, it's probably a good idea that you kind of make some changes in there on your own, because if you have experience, you kind of know your body a lot better than most people. And then the best adjustments for you are going to be different than for somebody else. So it's understanding, like, everyone's program, like whether it be Johnny Candido's, the Q Method, Wendler 531, all strength programs are ways to organize exercises, volume, and intensity. That's all they are. And they're done in a way, usually in a 7-day period, which to me makes sense for most people's lifestyle, which is important, but I like going off of feel. That's why I really like Jason Blaha of Juggernaut Fitness TV, because I like his viewpoint on training a lot, some of his philosophies. But another thing to consider too is I have a lot of experience in education with my body. Now, of course, I'm a personal trainer and I have a lot of education and certifications and stuff and training other people in injury prevention and rehabilitation. However, I know my body really well. And if you know your body really well, it's always best that you kind of go off of kind of what you know if you are training yourself and not working with a coach. I think what's important, like I heard on the podcast with the Powercast, which made a lot of sense to me when it comes to deciding what is the best program to follow, is I think the best program to follow is the one that kind of fits your personality. And sort of what I've noticed for me, the best program that fits my personality is going to be one that changes a lot. But of course, I do have an educational background in this stuff, so it's kind of like I know how to make the changes that fit appropriate for me. Last week I deadlifted 3 times. This week I deadlifted. I'm probably gonna deadlift only once. And it's kind of understanding kind of what works and what doesn't work for you, and you have to do trial and error. And I think the best thing to do, like for someone like me, what I found for someone with a lot of experience training with their bodies, that you need to follow a program maybe every few months, and then make progress on that program and then make your own program. And why should you do this? Well, it's because you enjoy it. It's something that you like to do. You like messing around with different kinds of training programs and training ideas. And I'm the same way. I just like just messing around. Some days I'll bench. Some weeks I'll bench 3 days. Some weeks I'll squat 3 days, and some weeks I'll squat. Or sometimes I'll deadlift 3 days. And other weeks I will only do it once. And the reason why is because 2 reasons. One, there's just not enough time in the day. And number 2, it kind of just depends on how banged up I'm feeling. Because what I find is when I follow a program, after about 3 weeks and just kind of trying to make linear progress, I stay very fresh and very recovered. Now that's pretty cool sometimes, but other times I like to beat the crap out of myself. Because if I do that, I get a little bit overcompensation, and I also get a lot of mental training, because that's kind of what's important to me. Now some people will say, well, it's better that you follow a program, make consistent progress. That's true, but it's kind of like one of the big parts of training and building strength is not so much the, the physical part is really important, but what I've found for me personally is that there's this mental aspect where you're just like trying to, again, lift a weight you haven't lifted in a long time, lift it multiple times. If you don't have this stuff down in your head, it can be very hard to overcome and conquer. And what I mean by that is, like I've talked about this before, my fear numbers for the squat are 365, deadlift is about 505, 515, and then for the bench is about maybe 275. And these are fear numbers for me because this is basically where the weight becomes a little queasy, or I feel queasy about the weight, or my confidence basically drops from 100% down to like 75, 85%. And then I get a lot of crap in my head that just fucks with me. So It's kind of understanding, like, you got to know what you can do, what you can't do, and what your capabilities are, and then pick the program that fits perfectly for the way that you like to train. And if you have trouble picking a program, well, there's lots of stuff out there. You just got to follow something. I mean, the best way to look at it is, if your goals are composition, just the way you look, and you want to build some muscle, then the program you follow, you could just do any bodybuilding program, because a lot of the time, if you're trying to lean out and cut, it's not going to affect you in any way, because you're not really trying to build a ton of strength. Now, some people will say, well, building strength is building muscle. This is true, but you got to understand that if you're not in a surplus, or you're not eating maintenance, and you've been training for a while, it's pretty difficult to even build any strength. So understand that. And again, like I said, it all comes down to individual goals and ideas and when it comes to training. So anyways, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.